at skipperauto.com. Here's my Ryan Walters story. I
got many Ryan Walters stories, too.
Well, this one's better.
Okay.
I grew up in Burnaby like Ryan, so this friend of mine says, you got to come and see this guy play. We're talking minor hockey here.
Yeah.
You got to come and see this guy play at the Burnaby Lake Arena. His name is Ryan Walters. He's going to go to the NHL. Right? So we go see him play. Just bigger and better than anybody out there. It was obvious what was going to happen with him later in life. A few months go by. This other friend of mine says, you got to come and see this guy play lacrosse for South Burnaby. His name's Ryan Walters.
Ryan Walters, multi-talented.
Just an incredible lacrosse player as well, and he joins us now. We're getting Ryan on because he is the former president of the Abbotsford Heat. Want to get his thoughts on the AHL going back to Abbotsford. Ryan, thanks so much for this. How are you, sir?
Hey, very good, Don. Very good, Rick. Everything's good.
Oh, good. You remember those lacrosse playing days of yours back in Burnaby?
Yeah, that 100 years ago, buddy. Like it is interesting. Obviously we've been back in the Lower Mainland now for quite a few years, and I bump into a lot of old coaches, lacrosse buddies that I played with. So, yeah, very much enjoyed those days.
Before we get into talking about Abbotsford, Ryan, what's going on with you these days?
Yeah, thanks. We've had the big pivot, and blessings to everybody that's moving through COVID, and hopefully we're on the out. We do leadership development we've been doing that for the last 20 plus years, and it's been typically it's in person. You do in-person training, so we went from 100 in-person trainings in 19 to 1 in 2020. So that wasn't a great time for our business, but it has increased our ability to do training over Zoom. So it's a bit of a blessing that way. And we're still doing lots of that, just ryanwalter.com. So thanks, Don.
Yeah, no problem, Ryan. Okay. So from 2011 to 2014, you were the president of the Abbotsford Heat. It didn't work out in Abbotsford. Everybody knows about that. I just want to know, Ryan, what was your first reaction when you heard the American Hockey League, the Canucks, are going back to Abbotsford?
Yeah, I was excited. I mean, I'm excited for the people of Abbotsford, first of all. They are wonderful people, and we had incredible fans. We just didn't have enough. And the people that came were passionate and excited, and it's a beautiful facility. So that would be the first thing, is that, we're excited about an AHL team coming into that marketplace, into that building. Number two is it's sort of what, I think we were hoping would have happened, that the transition from, the Calgary Flames affiliate to the Vancouver Canucks affiliate could have happened maybe a little bit, seamlessly or earlier. And it didn't. And that's okay. It was interesting, guys. It's my first business experience in actually being part of what I now call a negative brand, right? Like we would phone people up and say, hey, you should come and see this game. The AHL is the second best hockey in the world, probably, at least in North America. And people would say, yeah, I'd love to come, but I'm a Canuck fan, right? I'm not going to come out there and watch the Calgary Flames. So that's a no-brainer, and we were hoping that would have happened earlier.
Is that it, Ryan? I know it sounds like an obvious question, but does this have much more of a chance to work because we're talking about the Canucks Farm Club versus the Flames Farm Club? For
sure. I think maybe the best way to put it is, and I don't know if these numbers are true, but I think because you're a Canucks AHL affiliate, you're probably going to break even and have a chance to make some significant impact money-wise and, brand-wise and other reasons, as compared to being a Calgary Flame affiliate at the time where we struggled to break even. So, yeah, I think it makes a big difference.
Ryan, the question I got for you is, when you were the president and the research that you had at your disposal, where were the fans coming from? Abbotsford, Langley, Surrey, North Van? What could you tell us about where the Abbotsford Heat were drawing from?
Yeah, great question. I think a big chunk were Abbotsford. I mean, I think that the with the building, being fresh, and taxpayers in Abbotsford had paid a whole bunch of money for, to put that building up. I think there was a big chunk from Abbotsford, but we drew from everywhere, Rick, for sure. We would have people come from Vancouver once in a while when I was spending time out there. As you guys know, I didn't watch many games. I just tried to make sure the fan experience was as high as possible. So we were connecting with a lot of people along the way. And we had a chunk from Langley for sure. I would say, we had faithful fans that came in from Chilliwack. So it was very broad, but the key demographic was from Abbotsford. And a final thought here, what we found out as we did research, you would think that our competition would be the movie theater or, other entertainment venues in Abbotsford. And what we found in some of our research, guys? Our our competition was a mom and dad staying home and enjoying a bottle of wine.
Wow.
Right? It's not only the entertainment dollar that people, but it's the relaxation dollar.
Yeah.
And that will still be alive and well because people are so used to, I think they want to get out because of COVID, but I think there's been a lot of habits developed of, hey, I'm watching my Netflix show here and we're going to stay in tonight.
Speaking of competition, Ryan, you're a Western Hockey League alumni. The Vancouver Giants playing Langley. Ryan, you think this could hurt them a lot?
I don't know if it'll hurt a lot. I think the Giants have such a great brand and everybody knows, what you're getting with the Western Hockey League, and it's different than the AHL. But the AHL is obviously, if you're looking, at numbers to numbers, if you're looking at just the brand, the quality of hockey, obviously you're getting a different quality now in Abbotsford. You're also getting the Vancouver Canuck brand that is drawing people, probably obviously right through Langley to Abbotsford because they want to see the young guys. So there might be a little bit, but I don't think a big chunk of the faithful people in Langley with the Giants are going to move.
Ryan, switching gears, a team you're fairly familiar with, your old team, the Montreal Canadiens, are in the Stanley Cup final. You played in Stanley Cup finals with the Habs in '86 and '89. What memories have been sparked by the Habs playoff run this time around?
One thought, Don. One thought. If you get to the Cup final, don't lose. It's a no-brainer. I get that. It's just such a hard battle to get there and then to come away with not only nothing, but I remember in '89 when we had our wrap-up dinner as a team, it was like a morgue, right? You don't lose. So, they're alive, you guys will laugh. I mean, you've both heard it thousands of times. And so have I. The colloquialisms that are used at this point in the dressing room, right? Come on, boys. Just win the period. Just win the shift. Just one more game. Like it really chunks down. And I love playoffs. I used to think that playoffs, number one, it's my favorite time of the year. But I used to think that the playoffs where you don't change your game. Here's what playoffs are, because people ask me this all the time. Why is the NHL game at the next level during the playoffs? And I used to see the playoffs as a heightened awareness of the end. That's what the playoffs are, a heightened awareness of the end. And so you don't panic, you don't play differently, you increase your energy level, all your intensity. Those things just inch up because if you lose the game, it's done. And I love playing, and I loved playing, and I love doing life that way, right? Just being a heightened awareness of the end, right? So I'm, as you guys know, I'm 63, and we've got lots of time left. Jenny and I, we're not going to ever retire, I don't think. But it's good to have that in mind, right? What are the goals that I want to achieve in the next 30 years? So I love that about playoffs because you either win the Stanley Cup or you get to go home with your family.
I look over at Rick and I think about the end all the time. One more, Ryan. The Canucks pick 9th overall at the NHL entry draft later this month. One of the players that could be up for grabs is Port Moody's Kent Johnson. It doesn't always work out for hometown kids. Could you have played in? You were chosen by the Washington Capitals early first round. You eventually made your way to Vancouver. But would it have been difficult for you to play as a young player in your hometown?
I think it depends so much on the mindset of the young player. But yeah, I think there's an there's an opportunity to struggle for sure. There's a lot more distraction. It's higher expectations. It's the three of us would call it the Cam Neely effect, right? Like, that whole concept of, hey, he goes somewhere else and he's a superstar. So yeah, it could be, but then on the other side, if you think about the new NHL that we're playing, with social media and stuff, maybe it's like that. Maybe it's a hometown for everybody, right? Because everybody's under a scrutiny now like never before.
We could go on and on, Ryan. Do you want?
Ryan, I got one for you. Who was responsible in Abbotsford for the Looney Tooney nights?
Well,
$1 beers,
yeah.
$1 hot dogs, Ryan. Who was responsible?
Well, I'll give Justin McIntyre and his crew all the credit there. It's certainly it wasn't me. It was before I landed there, but that was the most exciting night of the year is when everybody got to buy a beer for $1 and a hot dog for $2.
I think Rick wants them to resurrect that. Hey, Ryan, one more time with the website where people can.
Yeah, thanks, guys. RyanWalter.com. Look forward to connecting with everybody.
Ryan, thanks so much for that. I really appreciate it, and all the best.
Look forward to our next time, guys.
You bet.
Okay.
Ryan Walter.